Be quiet, please.
What's
Be more quiet. I am Lai Gray. I'm from the Stockbridge and Menominee tribe, and I'm currently from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Smokes, look at your wild hair.
What?
You're all witchy.
What's wrong with it? Fix my hair.
And you're sweaty.
I know.
Yeah, that's some intense gaming.
It is. My control is always sweaty when it's my
Ew.
turn.
It's a lie, Mom.
I swear he's storing sweat in there.
Ew. It's so gross.
So what?
So what? You know, art was always a part of my life. It really helped me through all the good and the bad times. It was kind of like my therapy and my healing. And that's one thing that I never lost, was I always kept with it. You know, throughout years, I always kept it. And I never lost that within myself. And it just, it's my escape from reality. It's my way of getting lost, my way of healing. And over the years, I've gotten more into it, and I've noticed within myself that I'm more, you know, humble and more grounded. And that's something that, you know, I feel is a very big part, and I want to pass on to my children and get them involved in to the whole art thing as well, because it's a form of healing to me. If I know a storm is coming, I'll go outside and I will say a prayer. I'll put my tobacco out, and it really gives me the vibes and the energy that I need. I will sit down. I'll actually get my lamp, because I have specific lighting that I like to use. And you know, if I'm not feeling it, I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to force, you know, what I'm painting, because then it's not right. I need to get in the mood, and usually with a change of weather, it just triggers all these designs and all these different energies, and I feel like I have to do them. Even if they're not for anybody, I have to do them. It's the whole energy. It's the whole energy that I feel. It's almost like I'm getting, you know, these vibes, these different vibes that are just pushing me into the creative part of my mind, and I'll just always go with it. And it's usually right before the storm hits that I will go out there. And numerous times throughout, while I'm painting, I will go outside and just kind of feel the rain, feel the wind, watch the lightning, and that is, it's like it's energizing me. You know, for instance, I was actually asked this last year to make a hat for the outgoing brave. And my cousin, she was the one that was a princess, and she wanted me to make this hat. And she told me the colors, and I just wasn't feeling it at all. And I, you know, was kind of sitting on this design, and it just wasn't feeling right. I felt like something was missing. And there was this huge storm that was coming in, and I went outside, and it started raining, and I, you know, had my tobacco, kind of like a guidance of direct me in the path that this design needs to be. Let me make this specifically for him. And as soon as I put it on the ground, there was a flash of lightning, and it just started downpouring. So I knew right then that this design was specifically made for him. And I made that very well known to him when he received it at the powwow. And his mom, she just thought it was the coolest thing, because I don't know him personally. I've never seen his regalia. I just knew his colors. And he actually has 2 outfits that he wore, or does wear, and he can wear them both, or that hat with either regalia, because it matches perfect. If you're making it for money, it's there for all the wrong reasons. Anybody can splatter paint and sell it for $1,000, but if you actually put feeling, it's almost as if you're telling a story. So I would encourage people, like, have a story be told with it. You know, when, like, even when I do my hats, I'm constantly telling stories in my head of good things that have happened or even things that have triggered. So it's like I'm telling a story on whatever I'm painting. And I think that people need to realize that, you know, every painting or drawing or whatever, it's a story of what that person is feeling. And it's not always a negative thing. You can turn that negative into a positive. You know, you can be in a bad mood and create something beautiful. And that is just an artist's way of escaping. So, you know, you really have to be into it, and you have to have passion and love for it. For me, if I'm in a bad mood, I wouldn't necessarily, it's in a bad mood, but if I'm feeling sad or if I'm feeling upset, you know, if there's something that kind of triggers, like, you know, with my father, there's a lot of elements that kind of, you know, make me miss him. And when I paint, it's like I can tap into those feelings and turn it into a positive. Like, yes, he's no longer here, but I have them memories. And that's, you know, why I create is more of a positive thing. It kind of puts me in a better mood, and it humbles me, and it makes me happy. It takes my sadness away. It's like it's a healing thing for me. And if I'm in a bad mood, I'm not gonna, you know, like crabby mood, I'm not gonna do it. But it also can mellow me out, where it's like, all right, Leetta, you need to chill. Let's escape a little bit. He passed away when I was 8, and it was always my like to heal from that is I always went to art. And you know, there's certain vibes that I feel, there's certain colors that I feel, and I know it's him telling me, like, Leetta, you know, you should do this. And he was always, you know, even though I was a little girl and he passed away, he was always a huge significant part of my life that I can carry with him, you know, throughout all these years with me. And you know, from his death, it really turned me to express myself, and that's my way of coping, you know, through my depression and through my anxiety. That's my way of healing. I don't take any medication for it. This is my coping tool. And you know, he, like, a lot of the stories I think about are, you know, when I'm painting, are stories with him of being a little girl. I don't remember much, you know, but the memories I do have, I hang on to that. And it's like he pushes me to keep being out there, you know, not to make it like, oh, this is what you do. It's like he's pushing me to further, because I know he would be my #1 fan. You know, that's good job, Leetta. You know, just like my mom. My mom, she's the first person I message any of these hats to. Doesn't matter if it's 3 o'clock in the morning or not, she gets that first message. So I know if my dad was around, he would be the one right along with her that would be seeing these hats. I just kind of tap into what I feel was given to me. I always felt like in my family we always had gifts, and the gifts could be, you know, having dreams of someone about to pass away or someone visiting from the other side. You know, I see things and I can sense things. And when I know that I'm creating something for someone, and I might not know them personally, but the person who asked me is who I feel like I tap into that person to kind of get the vibe off of that one. Or, you know, whoever it's for. So it's like I base it all off of vibes and how I feel. And, you know, to find out that like half the colors that I make for these hats are these people's favorite colors. You know, if they're just like, make whatever you want, and then it's like, oh, that's their favorite color. So it's like I really tap into that. I feel like I'm guided in that way, actually. You know, there's a reason why I'm doing it.
So it all just kind of unfolds, right?
Yeah, it does. It does. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't know much about my Stockbridge side. All I really know, you know, my grandpa, he was a storyteller, and he was my Stockbridge. And we would go up to his house. They lived on the very edge of Menominee Reservation where Stockbridge meets. So that creepy woods back by Neopet area, that's where they lived, and that's where we always would go to and visit them. And I wish I would have listened to more of his stories. I feel like I would have been more in touch with my Stockbridge side if I would have listened. And you know, that is one of my biggest regrets, is that, you know, I didn't record these stories, or I didn't fully listen completely, because I was still, you know, an elementary kid, so who's really going to listen, you know, to Grandpa's stories? So that is one of my biggest regrets, that I don't really know that side of me. But my Menominee side, that is where, you know, my background more consists of. You know, I talk to different family members, you know, different stories, different things that were passed down, you know, to me from my grandma or my aunts and, you know, uncles too. It was always more about family and showing like how our family does things. And it's whenever I go back home, it's like I feel re-energized. And we lived on the reservation when we were little, but we moved off. But even though we were still going up there, it's like when I go back up there, it's like I get re-energized. It's like you just feel the vibes and the spirits, and like you just feel like this pride and this resilience. And a lot of people take advantage of that. You know, there's people like me that go up there and just absorb the energy and the pride and everything. And there's people up there that don't really see the beauty in it. I go up there, I try to make it up there almost every month, and it could just be just to drive through the woods. The woods are what really impact me the most. It's not seeing downtown or anything, or, you know, if I do drive through, you know, Kashina, I'll see Land of Menominee. And I always think, it's like I can almost recreate them putting that sign up there. Like, that is what I see when I see that. Of generations when they put that up. Like, that would have been the most coolest thing to see. And it's still there to this day. And then to drive through the woods, you know, VV going to Gresham, it's so thick of forest. And it's something to be proud of, because we are very well known for the forest. And it's, I don't know, that's my kind of one of my escapes, is being out there in the woods, just driving through, hitting the back roads. That's like my energy vibe. So I do try to make it up there often.
Your hat.
It's more of pride. I want them to be able to wear these hats with pride and know that there's good reason behind them, that it's my stories being told. So it's almost like it's my pride to create these, so wear them with pride. Honor them as if it is beadwork. Treat them good. You know, don't have a negative energy. Just always remain positive, and just know that these hats are made for healing. And they're made specifically for that person, whether they need it or not. It's more of strength and power, you know, for that individual. I'm Lai Gray, and these hats are made for healing.